people know him as the Candy Man, but we know him as Worf's brother Kern. Ladies and gentlemen, nice round of applause for Mr. Tony Todd! And also from Star Trek Deep Space Nine, the beautiful, lovely Nicole the Boer! And another incredible goddess who has absolutely been everywhere, not just in Star Trek, but in Battlestar Galactica and Torchwood. Nana Visitor! This is your Deep Space Nine panel.
Hi. How are you? Was there a question?
Yeah, let's start off first off with what you guys, we all know your past, but I'm sure a lot of people, if no one has this question in line for them right now, what's happening with you currently? And I'd like to start off with Tony Todd. How many people saw Transformers? How many people recognize Tony in Transformers? Okay, why aren't you in front of the freaking microphone then? Tony, go for it. Tell me what you're doing, buddy.
Well, I've been really blessed lately. I just wrapped a film the other day. I came in from South Dakota. I was in a film called Dust of War, which is a really nice Terrence Malick project. And this spring we got Sushi Girl coming out. Quentin Tarantino. It's a gangster film. Best role of my life, no doubt. And I did a little horror film last year in Virginia called Unbroken.
Oh, you do horror movies too?
Well, you know, this is kind of like a psychological thriller about a bunch of, spearheaded by a bunch of good, dear redneck friends who lived in the house. Are they in the house? No, they're not in the house.
Nicole, what you got going on, darling?
No, I love this question. Nothing.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nicole the Boer!
Let's give this lady something.
No, I mean, I've spent my time the past couple of months almost getting a whole lot of things. That's what I've done.
Like, don't you have a 4-year-old?
I do. I have a 4.5-year-old.
Counts. Oh my God.
And to be honest, I mean, I do a lot of like TV movies and stuff like that, which is great because when I think about it, I mean, I wouldn't really want to be on something like Deep Space Nine. I wouldn't want those types of hours or Dead Zone when you have a little one like that. I'm kind of grateful. Like in some ways, I think, oh, I wish I had a series again. And then other times, I see my daughter and I see how much time I get to spend with her, and I think I would never see you if I was doing those 16, 17-hour days. You know. So it's actually pretty cool. I like going, doing a little movie for a few weeks, coming back and hanging out with her, and it suits me just fine. I've been doing this since I was 9 years old. I don't mind chilling out a little bit.
Well, we miss you in the Dead Zone. We miss you in that too. You were fantastic.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Nana, obviously, what the hell? You gonna slow down or what?
What?
Are you gonna slow down someday or what?
You know, I know. She's saying, people will say, boy, you look the same, and it's only because I never slept. Having 2 little boys and doing Deep Space Nine, it was unbelievably challenging. It really is the better way to go. But then I did lots of stuff since then. But I did Wildfire, moved to New Mexico. First 2 weeks in New Mexico, I thought, why did I take this job? I hate it here. And the 3rd week, it was like, all of a sudden, the colors of brown started to differentiate themselves, and you know, they call it the land of enchantment, but it's really the locals call it the land of entrapment, because there's something about it. I don't know what it is, but I stayed there for 6 years, and then finally did this and that, and finally came back to LA in March. And I did Torchwood. The first day I got back, so it was like, oh, that's a sign I should be back. And then I just did Grimm, which was a lot of fun. I did a guest on Grimm.
The series is
Yes,
premieres.
the series. Yeah.
Based on Grimm's fairy tales, I'm assuming.
Yeah, and I have a business that's a dessert business, still going in New Mexico, and I do...
I like pie.
Yeah, I make the best pie crust. I'm telling you, I make really good pie crust. And I have a blog that I do connected to my food, and my sister and I do Kitchen Witches, which is on YouTube.
Man, your life really sucks.
Man is being a little too humble. Those of you that love theater, I saw her in an incredible production of Golden Boy at Long Wharf. She tore it up. And come to the theater also. And I'm sorry you guys missed it, because you did everything in that.
Thank you so much, that's really kind.
Guys, isn't this our most attractive group of Shrek celebrities we've had on this series? No, well, Tony, I'm not into you either, but I mean, as a man, you know. Don't mess with the candy man. Okay, do we have our first question down? Who wants to come up to the mic? Go right ahead.
Hey guys, I have several, but I'll just get on the back of the line and just freak you up. So
You wear different outfits each time.
Huh? Yeah, exactly. I'll just keep going. So Nana, I have a question for you about your appearance on Battlestar. When Ronald T. Moore gave you a phone call, was your first question like, "What the hell do you want me to put on my face now?" Or was it like, were you attracted to the idea of playing this very existential character, having played Kira, on DS9, or just if you can discuss that for a little bit, that'd be really cool.
Basically, when any of the writers or producers call me from Star Trek to do anything, I'm there, because I so trust their writing. And Battlestar was unbelievable. The thing that I didn't know is how much I would love Mary McDonald. She is a doll. She is just wonderful and so she's just there and very giving. Sometimes when you meet another female actor, it's like, whoa, this is my show. She was so gracious, really gracious. And the role was fantastic. I mean, I was fascinated by the whole idea of crossing over.
Cool, thank you.
You bet.
You're going to get in the back of that line now, right? Okay, all right. There you go. Next.
Hello. First, I just want to say thanks for coming out to Atlanta and DragonCon. We all really, I'm sure, appreciate it. But I just had a quick question about all your years on the show. You guys got to do more than just be your characters, like just be Major Kira all the time, or be Dax all the time. You guys got to do a lot of different things, like sometimes you had to sing, sometimes you had to wear a lot of makeup, sometimes you had to play baseball. What was some of the, do you have any like memories or something that you were asked to do or play a part and you're like, they really want me to do this? Like,
Well, you said it, baseball for me. I am the most uncoordinated, I'm a dancer, but hand-eye coordination is just ridiculous. One time we were doing a scene where Avery throws a huge bag at me, and I'm supposed to catch it, and he threw it, and I didn't even reach for it, it just hit me in the head. And he was like, I have never seen someone so bad. And so when they said, well, okay, so you've got to hit the baseball, I thought, this is a nightmare.
Oh, I remember you were dreading all of that.
I was dreading it.
Yeah.
They hired a baseball player to come and train me, and I've been on Broadway, I have never been so nervous. Thank God, first time, because I thought, the crew is going to kill me. We're going to be here till nightfall, and they all want to get home, and I'm going to still be trying to hit the ball. I got it the first time. It was like, thank God. I never had to do it again.
I don't know, I remember feeling really stupid when I had to fight a green, I think it was. A very large creature, and here I am, this little tiny pixie, and the stunt guy was like, okay, you're gonna just do these moves. It's gonna be a 1, 2, 3, Right. That guy would have thrown me clear across the room by now. But we did it, and hopefully, I pulled it off. But that felt pretty dumb. And the baseball was fine. I had fun with that. I actually really got off easy with that. We just had a little nose, but the rest of those guys were bitchy that day because they were melting. It was like 100 degrees that day, and Michael was melting, and he had to be like babied and kept in air conditioning and blown on all the time. And I was like, to make fun of him. But so that was easy for me. And hanging upside down, I had to wear those anti-gravity boots when Worf and I were captured. That was pretty cool. But you can only do it for so long, you have to cut because all your blood went to your face and you couldn't speak after a minute. So we'd have to cut and try it again. But yeah, but I like that kind of stuff when you get to do those things. It sort of spices it up, you know, as long as you don't look like an idiot. It's fun.
I think Tony, it's on you now. Same question.
I remember when I read the script for Sons of Mo, I accepted and did without reading the end of it. And the worst thing I did was, I found out that it erased my memory. And Kern was no more. I think Michael and I had long conversations about that. So that was a shocking surprise. Kind of awkward.
What was your favorite episode doing and why for Deep Space Nine?
I have one. Yeah, duet. I was so thought that was going to be a disaster as we were filming it. It just seemed like nothing was gelling. The reason they did it, just two characters, was because they'd spend all their money on special effects for so it was like what they call a bottle show, a cheap show to do, just two characters. And it ended up being so important to me, and the way it evolved, and so important to Kira's character, that is I thought it was so beautifully written.
I don't have a particular episode. I just recall moments, you know. I'm a fan myself of The Next Generation. I watched it faithfully with my stepdad every week when I was like 15, and so I was pretty psyched to be working on the show. And so, moments where I would first time I used my communicator. I was pretty thrilled by that. Or the first time I beamed. That was pretty exciting. I actually got in a fight with our director, Rick Colby, about it because we were beaming into the middle of the war or something. And so he said, okay, when you're landing, you're going to be beaming in, and I want you to be looking around as you're beaming in. And I said, oh no, you don't do that. You can't move when you're beaming in. He was like, no, it's fine, Nicole, it's fine. You're gonna get shot or something, so I want you to be moving around and looking. I'm like, I'm sorry, Rick, I'm not gonna do it. My molecules will be all over the place. And so we had to call the producers down, and like Hans Beimler came down, and Ira came down, and he explained them what he wanted to do, and they were like, sorry, Rick, I gotta tell you, she's right on this one. So I remember moments like that. And the last episode was just, I couldn't stop crying when we shot the very end, and with James Darren singing to us, and oh my God, yeah. And I hadn't even been there all those years, but I was a mess. I can only imagine how it was for everybody else. A lot of good memories, let me tell you.
Hold on, I don't think Tony answered his yet. Is there a favorite, how many appearances did you make on Deep Space Nine, opposite Dorn? Two. Which, it narrows it down.
Well, my thing is I'm such a fan of sci-fi anyway, that it's just a joy to just be called up there.
Yeah. So you can't choose between the two. It's all good either one.
Any time in Africa class will work.
Yeah.
We're a lot of life at that point. We're all children, so yeah, it's hard.
Go ahead, sir.
I have a question, a comment and a question. First of all, in the last year, I had the opportunity to rewatch Deep Space Nine on DVD. and just be hit once again as to what an amazing series it was, and the quality of it consistently throughout. And thank you all for all that you've done to make that what it was. And amongst the many things that struck me was how Nicole took a very difficult situation where she was replacing a very beloved character with someone who was quite different in personality, and managed to make that very believable and endearing to the character. Was a different character, but really won our hearts, and I really appreciate that.
I second that.
That's very nice. I really understand when people love someone and then their character goes away. I would totally be like that too. Like, I don't want to like you. I totally understand that. Thank you.
And we're a big personality group. We all had huge personalities, so I didn't envy her that either.
It was actually super easy. It was really so easy.
Good.
Because you guys were just so awesome, and it was just like one person for you to welcome, and I found everybody really welcoming. And I think also, I didn't watch the show, which was a good thing in a way. I think I would have been more intimidated, perhaps, if I'd actually watched the show. And maybe not. She was supposed to be as light and bubbly. They wanted her light and airy, but I think I would have gotten a bit freaked out about being that light if I'd actually watched the show beforehand. So it was kind of like a hanging. I was just brought in, spun around and set on the set. I got the part, they brought me in, I was working, and I was grateful to be working. I was an actor, happy to have a part. And I appreciate when people say, "Oh, it must have been very hard," but it actually wasn't. It was really easy. They all made it so easy.
And a very brief question for you now. And I know this is a DS9 panel, but I was just wondering your experience in working recently at Torchwood. I know it was a joint British-American production, but did you find that was a different kind of work experience than working on like a Star Trek in terms of having the British there, what that brought to you?
Oh, well, I'll tell you, the number one on the call sheet has a big influence on the way a set feels and the way a set is run. And John Barrowman is out of his mind in the very best possible way. And he's a really sweet guy as well. So the set was, Eve Miles and John Barrowman spent the whole time, trying to make each other laugh and doing silly songs. I've never seen anything like it. We would, on DS9, we'd sit in our chairs and maybe discuss things or go over our lines. It wasn't that kind of set at all. So that was the difference.
And he's back. Tony, this question's for you. The episode The Visitor, where you were playing...
Excuse me, I'm sorry to interrupt. You have a special relationship with that microphone? I was just...
I've got Parkinson's.
Freaking me out, dude. No pun.
I'm digging it.
It's coming home with me. That's okay. So I just had some questions about, that episode, you coming in, and you'd already been established in Next Gen and DS9, and whether you had any concerns of, obviously the fans are intelligent, so they're going to separate you from the character, but, just playing older Jake Sisko, and it's such an amazing episode, an amazing standalone, and your presence in that episode is something else emotionally. I just wanted to talk about it.
Well, that episode leaves me speechless to this day. I had trepidation about coming out to Space Nine because I had worked with Hawk. Which was never seen because I was fired. So the second time.
Shut up. That sounds like some juicy
I'm so sorry. It didn't work out, blah, blah, blah. So, okay, skip ahead 4 years. Even having been on the show, they still made me audition for this. It's okay. The woman that raised me, my aunt, she had passed away. Extremely close. She passed away. We were like this, single mom. And I was emotionally crippled. I couldn't work. And then all of a sudden I get this call to get sent the script. So it was like a voice opened up and said, you have to do this. You have to channel me. So I went in an audition. I never doubted I was going to get it sometimes. You know, these magic moments where you just feel your own shares and you claim it. So that's what that was about. That was an emotional catharsis.
My question is for Nana. It's about her characterization for Kira. I was wondering if you could talk a little bit, please, about how you characterized someone who is very practical, but also very spiritual. And I was also wondering if you could talk a little bit about how do you go about creating your character's faith for a fictional religion? Did you draw from certain world religions? It seemed like a Bajoran religion had some elements of Buddhism and some elements of some other things. I'm just curious about that.
Well, for me, a character is over here. You know, the writers are here, I'm here, and it happens between us. And we took our cues off each other finally, because, you know, it was so many years. But certainly the elements of religion were because of the writers. And, you know, the little details, how we prayed, stuff like that. It was, I mean, you start with the big thought and just let it go somewhere else, if that makes any sense to you, you know. It's all the same. To me, it's all the same, you know. It's just one big thought. So, and then I try not to edit myself. I let someone else do that.
Oh, there was someone down there. Go for it.
Welcome all, and all of you did a fantastic job of all your work. Love you for it. Question, do any of you follow your exploits on the novelizations that have been after post-season 7 DS9, and also have any of the authors contacted you for any input on your characters?
Input, no, but I have met David Mack, and he has given me his novel, and it's amazing. He's a captain, so that's pretty great. I have to read it. I really want to read it. Promotion? Because it's a pretty good promotion. So, yeah, I've heard it's really good, so I really want to check it out. I haven't read it yet.
No, I've never read the novels. Can anybody tell me whether or not Kern got his memory back? He did? What?
Tony, we have a heavily well-stocked dealer's room here at DragonCon, 25th anniversary 2011, by the way. If you ever want to pick up a copy of any of the literature that she just mentioned, I'm sure that we can arrange somewhere.
I would love that. Can you make that happen?
You got that? Yeah. Oh, me? Oh.
Scott Tanner, can you make that happen? Floor, baby.
First, thank you for mentioning Golden Boy. That was fun. For everybody, if you could be doing one thing that wasn't acting, like if you, not necessarily if things hadn't gone the way you expected, but like if you were you but doing something completely different, what would that passion, that one thing be?
God, I wish I knew the answer. I would be doing it. It's true though. I mean, it's a search for me. I feel like I'm a bit of a jack of all trades. I wish I was someone who was born into this world and just had that, was super focused on this one thing, and that's all they wanted to do. I envy people who have that. I really do. I love acting, and when I'm there and I'm doing it, I love to be on set. But again, I started at 9 years of age, and I thought I was going to be a lawyer one day or whatever, and I loved it, and it's in me, and it's great, but it just sort of became my career, because it's hard to turn down that kind of money. So the next thing you know, it's like, I guess this is what I'm doing, you know? And it's been a wonderful career, but there is sort of, for me, there's a little bit of, I'm left not completely fulfilled because there is something else I'd like to do. I don't know what it is exactly. Because just as I want to go do it, somebody offers me a job, and then I'm, easy money, okay, here we go. It's true. So I'm working on that. You know what I mean? I don't know. And the other things just take way too long to go back to school. And I absolutely sucked at math. And so, you know, I was interested in a lot of science type of things, but I sucked at math, which is so funny that I played this amazing mathematician in the movie Cube, because I have no idea what I'm doing. So I don't know, but I know I just, that feeling of when you wake up every day and you want to go and do it and love it. And I have great moments of that, but I'd love to do it every day.